Hello everyone, today I'm solving Leetcode question 1423, maximum points you can obtain from cars. So I like to take notes while I'm reading through the problem statement, just to write down the key points from the problem statement to make sure I understand the problem properly. So there are several cards arranged in a row, and each card has an associated number of points. The points are given in the integer array, card points. So we have a card points array. In one step, you can take one card from the beginning or from the end of the row. You have to take exactly k cards. So basically have to draw cards. So we need to take k cards in total. And then the rule for take the cards from the card points array is you can either draw from the beginning or from the end of the card points. So once you take that card is removed from the card points array. And then you will have a new beginning or new end, depending on whether or not you draw from the beginning or the end from the last step. Your score is the sum of the points of the cards you have taken. Given integer array card points and the integer k, return the maximum score you can obtain. So basically, every time you draw a set of k cards, you calculate the sum of the scores for all those k cards, and then find the optimal drawing strategy so that you can get the maximum score. So that's kind of the problem statement. So let's take a look at the example. For the example 1, we have the card points array, and then k equals 3. The optimal strategy is actually taking the last 3 cards, basically take the 3 cards on the right. This yields a final score of 12. So the example 2, you have the card points with all 2s in the array, and then the k equals 2. So regardless of which 2 cards you take, your score will always be 4. For the example 3, you have a card points. This card points array has 7 elements in total, and your k equals 7. So there's only one strategy to take the cards. So you just have to take all the cards. So let's think about how to solve it. So you will realize that we need to draw k cards in total. So no matter how we draw the cards, we just need to keep k cards. And then those k cards, we can consider them like contain 2 sets of cards. One set is our consecutive cards, draw from the beginning. Let's say, in this case, my k equals 3. So you have different drawing strategy. You can draw 1 card from the beginning, and then 2 consecutive cards, counting from the rightmost cards. Or you can draw the last 3 cards on the right. So basically, and then 0 cards from the left. Basically, no matter how you draw, you realize that the card you draw from the left and then the card you draw from the rightmost end, they are always consecutive cards on their respective end. So in that case, so we can think about this problem as a sliding window. So basically, we are trying to slide the window, and then while sliding the window, we keep the window size at k. But during the window sliding, we are trying to find the maximum score, basically the maximum sum of the window. So in that case, so our strategy is, let's say you have a beginning and then you have the end. You have 2 pointers of your window. So at the very beginning, you just set the beginning of your window here, and then your end of window here. Let's say you are taking the first k elements from the beginning, from the start of the card points array. And then you move the beginning of the end and the end of your window. Let's say you remove 1 card from the beginning. In this case, that's the card with index k minus 1, because that's the kth card in this window. And then you take 1 card from the end. So now you are forming a new window. And then you calculate the sum of scores for this new window, and then compare with the existing maximum score. So that's kind of the strategy. You just keep sliding the window. So the next time you are taking k minus 2 elements from the start of the card points and then taking 2 elements from the end of the card points. So that's kind of how you move the window, and then keep the window size at k. Just keep updating the maximum score if the current score, which means the score of the current window, is bigger than the maximum score. So that's kind of overall strategy. So let's write down the code for solving it. So we want to keep a maximum score, and then we initialize that to the first window, our initial window, which means we want to just take k cards from the start of the card points array. And then we also want to have a current score, which keeps track of the score of the current sliding window. Right? Initially, we just make it just assign the the total score of our initial window to it, and then we are just trying to slide the window for I in range 1 k plus 1. So our current score equals current score minus card points k minus I plus card points. Let's say we calculate the length of card points. So, and then in that case it's n minus I. So basically for the first movement, I equals 1. In that case, we remove the kth card, which has the index k minus 1. Remember, our array is 0 indexed. So we remove the card at index k minus 1 from the window, and then we add the last card in this card points array to the sliding window. So that's kind of our operation. So, and then we just keep increasing the I and then keep moving the sliding window. And then after calculating the current score, we just compare with the maximum score. And then in the end, we just return the maximum score. And then let's run our code.